Volver, to return. With Volver, we return to Almodóvar land, a place that usually embraces women with great affection and understanding, a place of laughs, universal social satire, and a style that suggests magical realism. This trip to the Spanish auteur's Madrid takes its title from the story's disappearances and returns. Writer-director Pedro Almodóvar sets his stage with a prelude scene in which the women of the city are at the cemetery cleaning, scrubbing, and polishing the gravestones of their buried loved ones. Such a congregation of women in a common labor suggests scenes of women doing their laundry in a local stream of an Andean village, or in a chorus act in an MGM musical. You half expect the scrubbers to break out in song. But no, the purpose is to introduce our key players and the theme of death. Among the cleaners we find Rayamunda, Penélope Cruz, her sister Soledad, Lola Duenas, better known as Sole, and teenage daughter Paula, Johanna Cobo. The writer-director isn't so much trying to convince us that such a graveyard tableau bears any resemblance to reality, though it might have a basis in cultural custom. Rather, he's mixing the seriousness of mortality into a laugh at mankind's oft-times contradictory ways of dealing with it. This is a place where survivors wail at wakes and wonder at the continuing presence of their lost ones over tea and tears. It's a place in which a ghost is a perfectly possible companion or intruder, and superstitions are foibles to laugh about even as they're held dear. Such contradictions are the grains of Almodóvar's creative soil. After the graveyard cleansing, Rayamunda's husband loses his job, gets drunk, and starts eyeing daughter Paula in her sexy get-up. Later, feeling free to assault her because they're alone and he's not her biological father anyway, he attempts a rape that ends in Paula stabbing him to death with a kitchen knife. Rayamunda returns home to discover the calamity and to efficiently deal with it by concealing the body. Several problems solved, including a ne'er-do-well male put away at an early age. Rayamunda and Paula pay a visit to Aunt Paula, back in the pueblo where the family was raised. They marvel at the elderly woman's fine pastries, her exercise bicycle, and at her ability to care for herself, all inconsistent with her age and physical impairments. Indeed, she shortly thereafter dies, and the plot thickens when, at her wake, Rayamunda and Sole hear from the grieving chorus of neighbor women that Mother Irene has returned from the dead and has been caring for the now-deceased aunt. Sole is the first to have the concept confirmed when Irene, her long-gone mother, appears in her home needing a place to stay, and she brought all of Aunt Paula's valuables with her, so as to prevent the mourners from plundering them. But the real reason for her return, ghost or not, is to apologize for events of the past, and reach an understanding with Rayamunda. Irene's ghostliness and Rayamunda's skepticism about the supernatural don't alter the need to cope with the consequences that all these deaths have set into motion, and the general level of misbehavior that follows is the source of much farcical humor amidst the serious matters of survival. The cast adopts Almodóvar's unique style, fully complicit in devising a rich blend of seriousness and mirth. Cruz has never fulfilled a role more, nor looked so stunning. She's never revealed so much of her bountiful endowments, which Almodóvar capitalizes on by acknowledging them in the dialogue. It's as though the actress, at this point in her maturity, has decided her talents are adequately accepted on merit, and that she need not fear being recognized for her sexuality alone. Her Rayamunda is filled with the confidence and control of the fully mature actor in a complex role developed for and with her, according to Almodóvar himself in an audience Q&A. In screen command, she exhibits richness of soul and understanding, reminding us of Sophia Loren, that queen of Italian cinema who elevated matriarchy into indelibly iconic memories. This is Cruz's moment to shine, and she makes it sparkle with a tone-perfect performance. In the rare moment that she's not on screen, you pine for her presence. The role is hers, and she is the role. There's nothing slack, either, about her sense of comedy and timing, but in this area she's paralleled by the easily underestimated Lola Duenas from The Sea Inside, who imparts a radiant modesty into a comedic range that perfectly adapts to the circumstances. In the best sense of the term, her gifts are those of the clown: sadness, self-deprecation, pessimism, and tactile relief when problems don't turn out as badly as it seemed they would. In the list of things I appreciated about the movie, there is also the positive nature of the relationships, which convey family ties and support in good measure. Not least is the mother-daughter tie expressed by Cruz and young Cobo. Certainly among Almodóvar's talents is his gift for casting, and even while the unfamiliarity of actors seldom seen outside Spanish cinema requires some adjustment, and a world in which male characters are so completely sidelined, he gets you there. Such is the case of Blanca Portillo, in the significant role of family friend, fellow conspirator, and cancer patient, which brings us back into the question of death from a yet different perspective. The cinematography by José Luis Alcaine isn't one of the film's strong points, although his artistry occasionally brings full justice to Cruz's beauty, also aided by Massimo Garabruzzi's fulsome hairstyling. The score by Alberto Iglesias is serviceable, taking mostly a back seat until segue moments require ear recording to point our mood swings in the right direction. In the end, the feast is in the thematic contrasts, richly seasoned with humor and layered with seriousness by a master chef of the artful conception. Volveré, I will return to Almodóvar's table for his next serving of satirical fancy.